Yeah.
Actually, I just have a question. If you find that your quad is drifting or sliding, is there something that you usually do? Do you pitch back a little bit more? Do you find that you need to like dethrottle?
It depends on how is it drifting.
So for instance, between the trash can and the tree, and I'm trying to cut real hard in between there, but I want to maintain some speed. Sometimes I find that as I go around the tree, my quad is still going out wide and not like, because I feel like sometimes when I watch, your videos, that it almost feels like you're a little bit more on a rail. I mean, you slide sometimes, obviously, when you cut throttle and do your tricks, but
because what's happening is you're sliding, you want to like keep the throttle pushing.
Basically, be more aggressive with it. What you're saying is you come into a corner, but it's just still kind of just going this way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, what you just gotta find more aggressive. So pitch it in more or roll in more and more throttle.
Kind of like you're forcing it. You're forcing it to.
Look at the goggles.
Yeah.
And I'll show you. So like I'm gonna go down here under this tree, and like you probably wanted to get tighter around that tree.
Yeah.
So say you wanted to like, if I don't get in the throttle, it drifts out wide, right?
That's the problem I have.
Coming around the tree, and you're trying to get it, but you're just, even if you pitch in and roll in, it's still not gonna do it.
Right.
See, it still drifts out wide, but as soon as I mean, that was full throttle. This battery isn't exactly like prime or anything, but
obviously
I'm basically just adding throttle in and pitching back a little bit so I don't explode.
Well, when you say you pitched back, do you mean?
When I throttle, it wants to force me into the ground.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like pitching, I'm not pitching back a lot, but I'm probably maintaining a little more of the same pitch that I had. See how it wanted to push me in the ground?
It sounds like I need to think of it, in terms of like what the quad is actually, you know what I mean? The direction of where the thrust is pushing me.
Almost it feels like if you are a little more aggressive or more playful with the throttle, so you can be like, oh, I can actually really punch if you need,
Yeah, perfect.
We're with different props. So I'll put a 6-inch on now. We're gonna do the same thing with a different prop. So this is basically just a more bitier prop. So the bitier the prop, the less throttle you're gonna have to give.
Does it have more like profile or more that's catching?
So you've got more area to grab stuff with.
Okay.
You have more torque down low, so you don't have to like, with the 5-inch prop, especially with these props, really hard, aggressive like turns, the prop flexes, you lose some of that like bite. So if you have a stiffer prop, it's obviously gonna help you in the corners, but stiffer prop usually means it's heavier, so it doesn't have the top speed or doesn't have that initial, there's a give and take for every single thing.
So why, for instance, are you doing 2 props? Or instead of a tri-prop?
Because this is the sneaky butter quad that's all silent. Okay. You'll notice how quiet this thing is. This is a Tommy special. See how quiet that baby is? See I'm coming up on this?
Yeah.
I barely gave it any throttle, and it's just like,
just because it's gripping that air.
It's just got more low end torque, so like.
Sounds nice.
So like a 5-inch, if I came in at this speed on a 5-inch,
yeah,
I'd have to go full throttle to turn like that. Where this, I'm like barely going above half. Damn, this thing's buttery. Like orbiting is so much easier with a 6-inch.
Just because it's got more control at the lower.
You don't need to throttle match, right? As much.
It's smoother, it's slower spinning, it reacts better.
Whoa! You needed to add more throttle.
So we taught some things, and you learned some things.
I did. For me, I realized I just need to be a little bit more aggressive, especially with the throttle and with the pitch. Making sure that I don't bury it into the ground, but that I try to keep it on that nice level plane and kind of forcing the quad to
do what you want.
To do what you want. Yeah.
So you need to be more woo instead of more.
Yeah, less poot and more like fit.
I don't ever want to go poot. No. So cool. Thank you guys for enjoying. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you didn't, then just give us one of those. But if you want to go bing, then do that. Thanks, Ben, for being on the show.
Thank you, Steele.
Got a boogie.
How's it going?
Hey, what's up?
Pretty impressive. Did you say impressive or? No. I think he said this is some pretty impressive too.
It kind of is. That's pretty true. Yeah, he was locking up like he was gonna say something, and then
And he did. It's Mr. Confusing, man. He tells you things that makes you like think.
You're like, hey.
I feel like you're all upset at first, but then it dawns on you like, oh, he's right. I can't argue with it. Wait, come back.
Hey, come back, man.